Twitch streamers that have good beards. SecretFiri knows one of them, I think. Yes, Fury does know one of them. She knows me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of the 3 you listed.
Yes. I will just get an item. Give me a good item.
Once Fury gets into
those.
this area, then the actual story will start up.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so Legendary Nick says, I feel like Whattageek's gonna get a massive lead. I will, but Dokapon has this algorithm going for it, where if you're in first place for a long time, you'll start to get, like, really critically bad rolls.
Oh.
Like, the longer you stay in first, the worse your play is gonna be. So it pretty much relies on the standings flip-flopping at points.
No, you're not Gohone. You're Krilton.
Oh my god.
You got...
What about his Krilton?
Yes, what about my Krilton? I'm just gonna assume English is not your first language, and I won't rag on you, but you spelled 2 words correctly.
Oh, I got 5 crystal.
And both words had the letters N and O in them, in the same
Correct.
order.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, Proton John syndrome, definitely.
Yeah, Proton John syndrome, because he was always in first, and then he started getting critically bad rolls.
I gotta watch that playthrough, because I keep hearing it's good, and the thing is, I always hear Runaway guys are amazing, and I just never have gotten around to watching any of it. And I hear they're some of the funnest, like, multiplayer Let's Plays.
They are.
It's mostly for John's shenanigans, I would say.
Yeah.
at
Oh,
this
I like
point.
John. I watch his channel.
Yeah.
I haven't watched in probably over a year, though. I'm just so busy. Does he still do stuff?
He uploaded in
Oh.
a while.
Yeah,
I
most of
remember
his
he did,
content comes from Runaway Guys.
He did, what's it called? He did, Castlevania
Yoshi's
on
Island?
Game Boy Advance. I remember that one being a really fun
Aerial
playthrough.
Sorrow?
Yeah, Ario
Yeah, yeah, that was a really fun one to watch, because I like that game.
Yeah.
What were we saying about him in Runway?
Most of his content comes from the Runaway Guys.
Oh, okay.
At least nowadays.
He, as far as I know, since he recently moved houses, he's gonna be able to record more.
Cool.
But that's also not happening right now because of all the trips he's taken for conventions.
Pickpocket, you're a fucker and I hate you. That's
So
not what
Pickpocket will steal, I
looks
think,
like.
a third of your current cash.
Oh, that hurts. Do I get it back when I kill him?
Yes.
Okay, I better. Die.
There you
Oh,
go.
okay.
Yeah, imps are pretty weak.
I get the feeling chat is like referencing stuff in that playthrough and I just don't know it.
The
Yeah,
Canadianator.
Canadianator is part of
Yeah.
the playthrough.
Yep.
Okay. I gotta watch that playthrough sometime.
You're gonna be sitting there for 150 episodes.
You know what? I've watched Dumber. How many times have I... There's like certain Video Games Awesome playthroughs that I've genuinely watched 6 times. Like Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Like, that's like 112 episodes. I've seen it 4 times. I've seen them
Fair
do
enough.
all of those games multiple times. Like, you gotta watch something while you're grinding in Pokemon.
I guess so.
Genuinely, nowadays, I bought an under-desk, like, bike machine, like exercise bike, one just for your feet under the desk. I bought one of those for while I'm grinding with Pokemon so I can do cardio while I'm grinding for the show. Help the little guy, a cure for cash.
So the actual plot points don't really come into play until you beat a number of these big guys. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm really
So,
good at them now,
sometime-
aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got so good.
You got so good that you're somehow borrowing my talent for it. So
Yeah,
the
I sound
boss
just like when
monsters
you do
will
it.
sometimes affect the playing board on each turn. In this case, the big monster decided to just drop a roadblock rock here.
What a
So-
dick.
Yeah, you can't interact with it at all. It just blocks off that space. So Fury is committed to going in this direction.
Oh, that's not so bad.
It'll disappear after
real
a couple of
bad.
turns. I guess
so
I'll
those,
visit
those
my
towns
town.
that are taken over, can you walk past the monsters out front?
Yeah.
Okay.
So every time you donate to a town, it'll upgrade in level, but you can only donate to towns that you own.
Okay.
You can also stay in towns regardless of who owns it, but if you do own the town, you'll get to stay for free.
Cool. And so that's a way of healing?
Yep.
Okay. I actually forgot to ask that earlier on ways to heal outside of leveling. And I assume there's probably healing items as well.
Yeah, potions, elixirs.
What's that? Bank space.
That won't come into any use because you don't have any stores. Or towns, rather.
Well, Dick, I do not want to fight you. You will beat the shit out of me.
I
think-
don't know if you will fight me if you land on that space. You will fight me if I was on an empty space.
Okay,
Or if I was
well,
already in a fight on a different town.
I'm just gonna go out in the field and get in a fight then. I mean, I may as well get some levels, right?
Yeah. So sometimes monsters won't have any magic defense. No.
The medicine will not cure envy, no.
Sometimes
I
monsters will
still
not have a
reference that.
magic defense, and in that case, you can actually use your magic attack, and they won't have any solid defense against it. And magic
You mean
will always
my
hit.
mouth beam? Magic
Yeah,
attack?
your mouth beam. Magic
Yeah.
attack.
Magic attack.
Dodoria, use magic attack.
It's one of my favorite things. Dragon Ball Z Super Saiyan Densetsu. Dodoria with his weird ass face doing this giant mouth beam, and it just says magic attack.
So magic will always hit. You can only defend against magic. You can't avoid it.
Okay.
Yep. I'm number 1.
Sorry, I'm making fun of a little girl's voice.
Yeah.
So Saturdays in the week are special sales. So if you go to any store, they'll actually have discounted items.
Okay. I'll keep an eye out for that.
Field
Oh,
magic.
so close.
Wasn't it Raccoon? Raccoon had a crazy mouth blast as well, but I think Dodoria was magic attack.
Yeah, Dodoria had magic attack, and Raccoon was just goofy.
Yeah, we need to finish that fucking
Oh, hey, you
thing.
can
Like,
get it.
the really... Oh, yeah. Don't you own this?
I do.
Yes.
I'm
If
gonna
it's
go to the
text in
store.
green, if the nameplate is text in green, I own it. If it's in
Okay.
yellow, it's yours.
Yeah.
White is, or black is Firi's.
Which one do you want?
Now, if I were to be wanted, could I go to my own city?
No.
Wow, okay.
It's either 2 weeks or 1 week. I can't remember.
Man, I don't have
having a
much money.
sale.
What would I get if I traded in? No. Okay. Do I want anything? I don't have a...
You should,
I have...
you should try stealing.
Yeah, you don't have a good shield, so.
Yeah,
that might
you know what?
actually
My
help.
defense is crap. Let's do this.
You will get -1 speed as opposed to the +1 speed that you have, but speed is irrelevant, so.
Yeah, and I leveled up my speed a bunch. My irrelevant speed.
Yeah. Chat's quoting Runaway Guys again.
Ah,
Yeah,
Everything is free if you're good at Rochambeau.
I'm assuming
We're
Mah-Dry
having
is
a
kicking ass
robbery
and
sale.
taking stars. LOL. No, I'm getting my ass kicked. I'm doing the worst, I think. I've never played before. I'm new to this. It's really fun so far, though. I really like this whole, like, getting cities idea and thing. I like it. I can't wait to kill Whattageek. And then beat him at the video game. Because I'll need
You know
to
what?
kill him to beat him.
A lot of people who play games with me will say that.
But
Yeah.
you have to remember that to be someone else, to prove that you're someone else's best friend, you have to kill the parents.
Yeah,
No, only
that's-
if you're Canadian.
And then you eat a butter tart on their corpse. That's the Canadian way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
So Firi just leveled up into a level 2 magician and got a new battle skill that will replace her charge, which is her downward option.
Doubles MG. What's MG?
Her magic.
Yeah.
And it only applies for the battle that you're in.
Yeah, I don't know what I like more between those.
Charge you can keep doing and you'll keep buffing your attack by 50%, so in some circumstances that's actually better than meditate. And also she gets a salary buff because she did level up. Or rank up, rather.
So Joe says, did you get a micro SD card for your Switch? I did, and let me tell you the story, because I haven't said it on air yet. Canada Post has stooped to a new low. This time, they said they delivered it. But they delivered, and it says handed to recipient. But it was not handed to me, and it was not on my front door. Later in the day at 9 o'clock, I hear a doorbell ring, I open the door, and this little Indian woman walks up to me, and she holds out the package, and she said, "Sorry, I found this around the neighborhood. Is this you?" And I take it, and I look, and it's got my name on it. I'm like, "Oh, it is. Thank you very much. Have a nice night." I open it. It's my micro SD card. That means the Canada Post guy just threw it on the ground. Like somewhere in the neighborhood.
Holy crap.
That is next level. That is next level bad.
Like, holy cow.
Like, either that or they delivered it to her house by mistake and she just lied. But honestly, I believe her. That they just put it on the ground somewhere. Like, they probably walked up to the mailbox and just put it on the ground, and I got blown around by the wind because it's this tiny light package with a micro SD card in it.
I love the chat right now.
$50, like.
I love this chat. Everyone's just going, what? How the fuck?
Yeah, like, I even contacted Amazon, who I bought it through, and they're like, it says it's delivered, but if you don't get it by tomorrow, contact us again and we'll send you out a new one. So at least they had my fucking back.
Wait, no,
what?
my atrophy.
Oh, I saw someone walk past you. Okay.
Yeah. And you get another one.
No.
You want yours back?
Yes, please.
Does Canada have an equivalent of BBB? I don't know what BBB is.
The better.
Oh yeah, the Blue
Business
Book
Bureau?
plan.
The better.
Bureau.
Yeah, we have something like that. We've contacted them about their shit before. The last time we went to or like a couple times ago when we went to the post office, you know, they've never delivered something to my house in years. But we have caught them on stream before walking up to my door and putting a failed delivery notice on my door while I was home.
Oh my god.
And then like, we called and they're like, oh, no one must have been home. And I'm like, I watched you. I was live on air. You could see me from the window. So they just like pretend. Now they don't pretend. Now what they do is they put a failed delivery notice in the mailbox in the middle of the subdivision. And one of the times we went there and we're like, your guys never deliver the mail here. Like and you know what they say? They say, oh, we can never find parking, so we don't try going to the door anymore. And my response is, every private courier I have ever had in the last 2 years walked up to my door and found parking. How can my government not find parking? You are the only courier that I have to pay for because I pay for you with my tax. How is it that the only one I have to pay for is the only one who won't deliver? And the response is, we can't find parking. And I just have to put up with that, I guess. And now they just slam dunk my package on the ground. I pay for this service. It's in my tax. They tax me like 30% of my income, and they can't deliver my mail. You know in Malaysia, they will helicopter your mail to you? In Canada, they won't even use a car.
That sounds amazing.
Oh my god. One day I'm going to leave this country and I'll find somewhere wonderful. Maybe I'll go to Ireland. Ireland sounds nice, not Northern Ireland. The rest of Ireland, Republic of Ireland sounds nice. I don't want to get like car bombed. I don't want like a car bomb in my potato, so I'll go to Republic of Ireland. That's the nice Ireland. I don't want to go to North Ireland.
That's also the Ireland that is and will stay in the EU for now.
Actually, that's a good point. I don't want to go there then. Because there's serious people within YouTube where they're generally thinking of pulling out of the EU, like just not broadcasting in the EU. It's that bad. That is how bad the laws are the EU is trying to pass in terms of copyright.
Yeah.
There's been internal talks in YouTube that they may have to pull out of all EU countries in terms of like you can't upload. Because the laws are that fucking bad. I would rather go to a place that is not in the EU.
Going for it.
I would rather the laws of the country I live in be voted on by the country I live in. You know, democracy, which is what we also don't have in Canada because we have a whole branch of government based around shooting down laws that get voted in. Canada is fucking awful sometimes. You know, if you go This is amazing. If you go to the Senate building in Canada, they will hand you a pamphlet that they make for kids to teach kids how the judicial branches of like Canadian politics work. They have to make a booklet for kids that explains, it's like, all these woodland creatures voted on how to run their society, but they're all dumb and did dumb things. So they deferred power to the wise owls, and the wise owls kept them from doing dumb things. And that is the explanation as to why we have a Senate that functions the way it does. A children's pamphlet.
The Council of Owls is in Canada.
Canada's weird. I could bitch about Canada forever. I'm like the... Oh.
So yeah, enemies can give up. They will actually give you bonus job experience, and they'll drop their item for you.
Cool. So yeah, that's my Canada rant of the day, everybody, is, like, look,
that's me.
we're fairly upper tier in terms of countries. I get them, you know, my complaints are pretty small fry when it's compared to, like, no fresh drinking water. All I'm saying is, we have no excuse. We have no excuse for fucking up the things we fuck up. Like, come on. We fuck up such basic parts of running a country. It's unbelievable. And most Canadians just don't tell you about it because they like this. They like that Canada has this reputation of like, oh, Canada's so wonderful. Everybody should move to Canada if your country sucks. Dude, it's not as good as it looks. Like, there's so many other first world nations I'd rather be in than Canada.
I wanna go to Sweden.
Oh, I don't want to go to Sweden. They got their own issues. A lot of countries have, well, every country has its own issues in fairness, but there's a lot of places I'd rather be. Switzerland looks pretty nice, although that mandatory military service is not exactly up my alley. South Korea, there's some pretty cool shit there. It's a little bit of a mixed bag there, but they're pretty into online jobs, which is a nice bonus.
Actually, my cousin came back from South Korea like a week ago. She spent 3 years studying there. That's pretty nice for her.
Unhandy says, come to Netherlands. I do really like the Netherlands. That is a European Union country that I am quite fond of. Mostly on a cultural level, I really like just the Dutch in general. The attitude they have on life is one that I can really respect. Do I stand any chance against this guy?
Hit the X button, whatever that might be. There you go. Oh no, that's a
not
no.
looking like a winning. Yeah.
That's a hard no. Halflings are mean.
So Khan's Castle, what is that?
It serves as a town where you can go and like stay there for a night, but it is expensive to stay there.
I think I'll just keep fighting.
Oh, you got an event.
Is this like a quest?
Aww.
Kinda.
So is the whole game voice acted?
My name
Yep.
is Leanne.
That's cool.
Bits and pieces.
Oh, okay, like she said one sentence there.
I'd like you to
Yep.
deliver this item to a town.
Doesn't Atlas have most of their games voice acted? And
I think so.
horrifically badly, usually?
I think so.
Yeah.
Is that why? Is it just they cheap out?
Yeah.
Thank you very
So there's no penalty for failing this quest, by the way. In fact, you can eat the item that she gives you. But the sooner that you get it done, the better your reward will be.
Okay,
So
I'll go for
there's
it.
no penalty for not doing it.
This is me again.
Thanks, Darius? I don't know if I said that right.
Desiderius?
Desiderius, maybe? I don't know, there's no capitalization, so I'm not sure if it's one word or two.
Desiderius. So, Fury, you can come fight me if you want to.
I want to go to the weapons store.
Fair.
I need to get a stabbing machine.
Hey there! Hey there!
Man, that looks like a painful earring.
Yeah.
It's like a
But it might be
wedge.
just one of those that clip on.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Those sound even more painful, honestly.
They're not
It's like
bad.
pinching you, wouldn't it?
Nah.
I'm thinking about getting earrings. Never had my ears pierced.
Might want to up your defense then.
Can you
Yeah.
invest in Bitcoin in this game, says Joe?
I think so,
Yes. It's like real life.
Jetstream, this happens a lot here in Denmark. Our postal service just dumping piles of mail and packages on abandoned fields a mile or two away from the area they're supposed to be delivered in. Okay. Isn't Denmark known for its high tax? Because there's no excuse to have public services that bad when they have funding like that. Come on. Like, it's not like this is some buttfuck nowhere country where the government has like $2 and it's like, okay, they probably hired some kid to do this for like illegal labor. No, it's like, this is Denmark. Come on, this is a first world nation.
Is it though?
Denmark? I don't know. Well, now that I'm here, they dump their mail and packages in fields. I'm not so sure. That doesn't sound like a first world nation. What do I want? I could go for magic again.
So I think the item that she gave
Who's this
you
fucker?
last turn, another halfling.
Another halfling.
That's a no. Fuck.
Okay, so the town that she wanted to deliver to was 2 spaces away from you. It's the one with the other halfling.
This one?
Yeah, so if
Yeah.
that halfling wasn't there, you can just go to that town and
Deliver it.
deliver it, yeah.
Magic attack.
Magic attack. So these are actually field magic, so you don't use them in battle.
Slow. So are they one-time cast?
Yeah, you use them on the field as though they're items.
Okay.
So at the start of your turn, you can use an item or a field magic. And magicians can use 2 field magics before they move.
So Jetstream says, happened a few years ago, so they started firing every mailman that got more than 3 complaints in a week from their routes. Man, if we had that rule over here, we wouldn't have mailmen. Like, genuinely, everybody hates Canada Post in Canada. The only thing that gets complained about more than Canada Post might be Air Canada. Air Canada is like a meme even in other countries, it's so bad. Will he ever stop washing that one shield?
Meow.
That is not the voice I thought that would have.
I'm gonna get an offensive spell,
Why does he have spiky balls on his face?
because why not?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sorry, is he saying thank Mew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm rethinking how I feel about this game.
Thank you.
Man, you're really stalking the fuck up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Come-
Man, I'm rolling all out of sixes.
So be warned, if you stand on snow tiles, like there are 2 tiles you can land on up there that are
What's this?
covered in snow.
Oh, item.
If you go there, then you will be paralyzed for a turn.
Okay.
So you'll stay still for a turn.
What's
Coliseum
this?
has nothing for you.
Oh.
Coliseum will actually just randomly be sent there on one of our turns, and or 1 week, and we'll just. Oh shit! Oh no, I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
The wandering you don't look so good.
Oh, great. Oh, I'm gonna get tetanus.
So your attack goes back to normal, and you get fully healed, but it costs a shit ton of money, and you can actually get into debt in this game.
Yep.
Fuck. So he just robs you and heals you.
Yep. You can pawn off your debt to other players if you beat them in battle, or if you run into an NPC called Roche, you can lose against her, him. You can lose against Roche and Rochambeau, and they'll clear your debt for you.
Smash says, how are you playing this? I did it with Parsec once, but it did awful. We're doing it over Parsec. Just make sure that you're using the newest dev update of Dolphin, because it fixes a lot of controller issues. What game is this? Dokapon Kingdom. It's in the title and the book.
Yes, I know that.
I shouldn't be allowed to have necklaces. I just play with my necklace all day, and then you probably hear jingling on the microphone.
The newest update for your Wii.
Yeah, it's over there in that box. It's just
In
off
the
camera,
book.
out of sight.
In the book.
Word.
Right, I have field magic. I should check to see if any of that is good.
Oops. So these are specifically for players And if
Okay.
I cast them on you, afraid means you can't enter any or go onto any spot with a monster on it.
Okay.
And Blistered Feet makes you only move one space at a time
Yeah.
for I think 7 turns.
For a whole week.
You
By
got
the way,
spam.
for everyone either in the chat or in the call who has played Fire Emblem Three Houses, what does everyone think? Because I'm hearing really good things about it, and I want to play it.
I have not played it.
I haven't played a Fire Emblem game.
I used to play them a lot in back in elementary and high school. I used to play English translated ROMs of the SNES ones. Those are really good. I did the GBA ones as well. Little bit of one of the DS ones. Little bit of I did one of the GameCube ones as well. They were all really fun. I love that series, but I haven't played one. Like the newest one I've played was for GameCube. So a little bit of one for Wii, and it was good. But
Joe says
like
it's bad.
yeah, he says it's bad and he hates it. That's weird.
And Ash says it's really bad.
Yeah, which is funny because I think when
Wait,
I added
what?
him, it said, yeah, Ash hates it. That's funny because when I checked, I thought he had like 200 hours on it.
Yeah, it's bad.
He must just hate
So,
himself.
by killing a big monster just then, the
You
king
stole
gave me
my-
the king gave me a pay reward like 15,000 gold. But he also said that Firi's town is now mine.
He stole my town.
Sometimes he'll
Gamers-
also say, "What? Everyone wants to give you presents. What a swell gang!" And then he'll give the player who defeated the boss monster money from everybody, like on-hand cash.
So, Smiley Gamer says, I don't like Fire Emblem for trash representation of LGBT relationships. My response is, I play video games for gameplay. In Pokemon, there's no gay Pokemon. Attract doesn't work on the same gender in Pokemon.
Yeah, but
It's just a balancing thing. Like it could as easily be some Pokemon are token 1, some Pokemon are token 2. Attract only works if they're the opposite token. Like it's literally just a balancing mechanic. So I don't know. I don't really see it as that big a deal because the gameplay is what matters. Like I would never not buy a game because it doesn't have gay people in it. Like Ogre Battle, I don't remember if it has any black people in it, but why does that matter? What's it called? What was that really awesome Hong Kong
Sleeping Dogs.
Sleeping Dogs? I love that game to death. Probably
I
doesn't
like
have
how
any-
I was able to
I don't
pick
think it's
that
got
out
any-
immediately.
Don't think it's, yeah, it's like the only game in Hong Kong. I don't think it's got any white people in it. I don't give a shit. The game's awesome. We gotta play dumb game modes in Smash. Everybody wants to play Smash with me, and I want to play Smash with everyone because it's Smash, and it's gonna be awesome, and I'm excited to play it again.
Is it bad that I don't care about Smash?
Nah.
No, it's fine. Don't like the games you don't like. I used to really like Melee, and so I want to get back into Smash.
Black Hole Beauty says Cryogonal, the genderless Pokemon, can learn Attract, making it useless. And every time that is brought up, I can only think of Santa's Delibird, who,
Oh my God.
after
Oh my
I
God.
beat him in Pokemon Combat,
Pokemon
you know where I was
Combat.
going with that. Yeah. Okay.
Hold on, can I go in here?
Yes, you can. It's a dungeon.
Should I?
So you can just. You can. It's just
Fuck, I'm doing it.
opportunities for better loot, better monsters. Santa's Delibird lost to me in Generation 6 whenever we battled. He was a user on Mah-Dry's forum. And the day afterwards, he went on the forum, made a post saying, I had used Cryogonal for the record. He made a post saying, did you know that Cryogonal is the only Pokemon that can learn Attract and is genderless? Like, whoa! And the reason he did that was because he was doing research on the team that I was using so that he could beat me in combat the next time. So, the next post he had made, that I think it was the same day or the next day, he made a post about how my Hitmonchan had one-shot his Venusaur with a Falcon Punch. And those of you who know the Falcon Punch, it's a fire-based punch. My Hitmonchan had used Ice Punch. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're never going to stop retelling the Santa's Delibird stories because there's so many in such a short quantity of time. It was so weird.
And another reference to that whole thing of Santa's Delibird, my name in game is True Guardian. his final message to me before he went AWOL was, or MIA rather, was, what was it? I accept my loss without ever giving up. I show true pride as a guardian.